Alright then, here we are. We're starting on the pole by half a tenth over Lewis Hamilton. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We're away here in Canada. We get off to a good start. As Hamilton pulls in behind us as we head into turn 2. Cut the corner immensely there. That's my bad. We get off to a running start. It looks like rain here. I'm hoping it doesn't do that, but based on Monaco, it may happen. Getting way loose into the third chicane. Taking it easy through the hairpin. Now we go down this long straightaway, heading towards the Wall of Champions. Hop over the curbs, and we are 1 lap through this 18-lap event. We have a 1.1 second lead over Hamilton, followed by my teammate Fernando Alonso and Nico Rosberg, Hamilton's teammate, in the 4th position. As we cut the corner again. That was my bad. Going up to the hairpin once again as I have a fly buzzing around me. That could be problematic. We opened up the gap a little bit more to 1.8 seconds. As the clouds seem to be still looming. Go way wide over the curb. Had to save it going into the Wall of Champions there.
DRS enabled this lap. Be aware, drivers within 1 second of you will try to use DRS to pass.
DRS has been enabled. Hamilton will be able to use it this lap if he can get up to me a little bit more. As we cut that corner yet again. Nico Rosberg setting the fastest lap.
For the car behind, he's only 2 seconds down on you. He might try and overtake if you make a mistake.
But we've opened up the gap a lot further. It's almost 2 seconds over Hamilton. He's heading to the hairpin for the 3rd time. Get a better run through it that time, but we lose 4 tenths on Hamilton. But we're still clear of him from using the DRS. Taking it easy through the final chicane so we don't get any closer to the wall. And according to the engineer, Hamilton will be in within the next 2 laps. Rosberg sets the fastest lap at a 19:12. We don't cut that corner for the first time this race. Completely missed that apex.
Second gap to the car behind. We need to keep it clean so he doesn't get a chance to overtake.
We're given an update on the interval, and it is now 1.9 seconds. getting a lot darker here. I'm anticipating the engineer telling me it's gonna rain soon. As we lose 3/10 of a second that time. We'll most likely open it back up again. The order has stayed the same. It is still myself, Hamilton, Fernando, and Nico Rosberg as we get a lot of air over the curbs. And we set the fastest lap at a 19:11. Will Rosberg respond? Oh, and Rosberg has dropped a spot to Vettel. You're starting to slow down a little bit now. But we've opened up the gap to 2 seconds. Hamilton and Alonso are having their own battle. Through the hairpin, we have 1.7 seconds gap now. And if it stays the way it is right now, we probably won't have to deal with any challengers. Which, if you think about it, is pretty boring. It's kinda like real life F1.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
We're given notice that Hamilton may be trying to save some fuel. Therefore, that is why he's dropping back. It would make sense. So later on in the race, he can challenge if he so desires. We've opened up to a 2.5 second lead now. Alonso is less than a second behind Hamilton, so that will be a battle in no time. And DRS may be used.
Watch out for the car behind. He's only 2 seconds down on you. He might try and overtake if you make a mistake.
So, while we're at a great advantage, I want to send my condolences to the family of Christina Grimmie, who was tragically murdered after a concert last night. I myself had never listened to her music, but as a fellow musician, I do find it sad that she's gone. And now we've lost, in the span of 6 months, we've lost David Bowie, Lemmy, Prince, and now Christina Grimmie. It's like music is cursed, if you will.
You have a 2-second gap to the car behind. We need to keep it clean.
But yeah,
To overtake.
I just want to say thoughts and prayers are with the Grimmies this difficult time, and I will be dedicating this episode to Christina Grimmie. But anyway,
The pit window is open. Stop this lap.
I don't understand why we have to fear for our safety everywhere we go now, it seems. I mean, a concert is supposed to be a fun time. where, you know, friends and family could have fun, have some quality entertainment, and one douchebag had to ruin it for everyone, and it cost the performer her life. And before you guys start saying that America needs stricter gun laws, that's not going to help it, because whether we have stricter gun laws or not, the criminals are still going to find a way to get to the guns. So there's no point in arguing about that. As we come to the pit lane for our pit stop, see how it goes. 3.7, that's about average. And we are...
Remember to stay inside the white line or we'll get a penalty. You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
Put it back to standard and we're on our way. We dropped to third, which gives Lewis Hamilton the lead, or Fernando Alonso the lead, excuse me. Valtteri Bottas has taken second, and Hamilton is still behind me, but deficit to him is now 3.6 seconds. Getting loose over that curve, and to back out of it just a hair. So heading to the hairpin, and it still looks like rain.
Looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running full regs, maximum power. There's not much between you and the car behind.
We're gonna put the fuel mixture into rich for a few laps. Just to see if we can get some ground made up here. To go around our teammate who's taking his pit stop, we now re-inherit the lead. Just only now we have less than a tenth of a second lead over Hamilton, or Alonso is in second place rather, so that's 2.5 seconds, excuse me. Loose over that curb again. Took a little bit too much of it that time. Oh, cutting that corner way too much. Got a little bit happy on the brakes there. That's my bad. Anyway, going to Formula One in real life, Hamilton finally took the maiden victory of the 2016 season at Monaco after Nico Rosberg was having some sort of problem with his brakes. At least that's what I got out of it, and he was forced to move aside for Lewis, which, if you ask me, I'm not a fan of team orders myself. This is coming from originally a NASCAR fan where team orders are punishable by fines and suspensions and whatnot. So, and I will admit, he did do good for the team by letting Hamilton through. That was 25 points towards the Constructors' Championship, but, you know, I think he should have earned it. But that's just me. I'm prepared to get hate from that statement, as I've already gotten it from several Mercedes fans in their fan pages. Enough about that, because we have a 3-second lead now over Hamilton. We set the fastest lap at a 18:37. Put it back down to standard. Damn flies in my face again. According to our engineer, Hamilton has begun using full revs and has cut the deficit to 2.3 seconds. So he's on the move. But we have 6 laps to go here. And I don't think he'll have time to get up to me unless I make a colossal mistake. We've made up 3/10, possibly more time coming into the second sector. Yes, we make up another 6.
Between you and the car behind. See if you can increase the gap.
Make up another 6/10 that time. As I said earlier, we started on the pole, but only by 1/2 over Hamilton, and our race pace has been brilliant. And we're running purple through Sector 2. Open up the gap a little bit more. Up and over the curbs. What is this lap going to be, I wonder? It will be 18:41. I think we lost a little bit of time through the final chicane there. Purple through Sector 1. Still has not started to rain, which I'm glad, because as demonstrated last week, 2 weeks ago in Monaco, I cannot drive in the rain to save my life. Cut the hairpin again, but don't get warned for it. Lost a little bit of time through the hairpin there. We're only a couple of hundreds up on our best lap. Probably not going to beat it this time around either. Definitely not. Coming up to lap one of the Manners, I believe, or the Marussias rather. This is 2014, excuse me. The Marussia of... can't see who it is yet.
You have a 4-second lead over the car behind. 4 seconds.
It's not... Speaking of the Marussias, Jules Bianchi qualified 15th for this race. And it is Max Chilton that I'm coming up.
Car behind is running
coming up to lap now. He moves out of the way. Thanks, Max. Oh, shit. Clipping the wall. Down the back straight. Getting lots of air over the curb. Coming to 3 laps to go now. I will say this. Feels like the inside of a race car in my room right now, as we have clipped the wall and taken off one of our end plates. Maybe a little bit more than that. Let me press on. Having to take it easy now so we don't lose it. These curbs are really high up in some places. Okay, Mother Nature, are you gonna tease me this entire time, or are you gonna start dumping rain on us at any point? Because seriously, I would love to know. As we're now at 2 laps to go, the deficit for Hamilton is 4.1 seconds. That's a handy lead for us, but we can lose it just as quick if we're not careful. And the deficit has been brought down to 3.8. Had to put the brakes on out of that chicane so we didn't hit the wall. Lost a lot more time. Lost 1.5 seconds, in fact, as we go through the hairpin for the penultimate time. And the fuel light has come on now. Will we be able to survive the next 2.7 miles as we come to the final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix? 2.6 seconds separates myself and Hamilton, followed by Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel. Finding our P's and Q's here, trying not to lose any more of our front wing. As we run purple through the first sector, car, if you're gonna run out of fuel, do it on the straightaway before the finish line. Actually, don't do it at all, preferably. Coming through the hairpin for the final time. Get another corner cutting warning, and we're 2 seconds up on our fastest lap. Down this long straightaway, going to the pit straight now. Cutting the chicane, but it won't matter because we have won the Canadian Grand Prix.
Brilliant. That's the double. Pole and the win.
Brilliant indeed, as we take the victory. I believe this is our second of the season. We win, followed by Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg, Felipe Massa, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Nico Hulkenberg rounds out the points. And now, speaking of the points, let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship table.
That result keeps you in 6th position in the Drivers' Championship.
Lewis Hamilton continues to lead the Drivers' Championship by a substantial margin over Vettel. And we are still in the 6th position, sandwiched in between Ricciardo and Massa. And the Constructors' Championship looks like this. Of course, Mercedes is leading that, and we're in 3rd place behind Red Bull. And now to the podium celebration. And that will do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw or heard, or a combination of the two, consider leaving a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more of this series or anything else I have to offer, please subscribe and join the Wheeler Brigade today. But until next time, Brigadiers, keep on rocking, keep the pedal down. And I will see you in Salzburg, Austria.